And LaFace, please don't sue us.
Leave us alone.
We just trying to get it out here.
Look, hear my plea. Leave us alone.
Come on, babyface, just leave us alone, man.
I ain't heard that in years.
We really like that track. We don't want to have it go away, but I know that you're pressing us. So, community impact report. I want to focus today. I have a story on greed. I want to read this to y'all, and I want to get y'all's thoughts. Okay. All right, so listen to this, right? A Tennessee state senator was charged with swindling $600,000 in federal funds to pay for her wedding and finance a lavish lifestyle. Federal prosecutors announced. From 2015 to 2019, State Senator Katrina Robinson is accused of stealing the money that was granted to the Healthcare Institute, a company she directed. In addition to covering her wedding cost, Robinson, a Democrat from a Memphis district elected in 2018, is charged with using the funds to pay for her honeymoon and pay legal fees for her divorce. With the stolen money, the lawmaker also paid for her daughter's 2016 Jeep Renegade, home improvement, a $500 Louis Vuitton handbag, and invested in a snow cone business run by her children. Robinson was... I'm sorry. Robinson was charged with theft, embezzlement, and wire fraud. Despite the charges, okay, listen to this. Despite the charges, she said, listen to this, she will continue to serve in the state legislature with the same integrity, the same passion that I've demonstrated since you've elected me to this office.
What?
Okay.
Those are words out of her mouth?
Yes.
Is this person, can I ask the race of this person?
Are we going to do a guess what race it is?
Yeah, let's do that.
Well, her name is Katrina.
So it may now. Okay.
Katrina.
What's her last name?
Robinson.
Yeah, that's a sister.
Yeah. Master Robinson had a lot of us out here. Man. So she said, it's believed that if I were not in the position that I'm in, that if I did not champion the voices, the views and the faces that I represent, that I would not be in this moment right now.
What?
Tennessee State Senate Democratic Caucus said in a statement, Robinson's legislative work is not in question, and she deserves the presumption of innocence and due process.
What?
Yes, she does, Sister Robinson. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, don't let them try to frame you into something. You was just doing what they do when in Rome, okay?
When in Rome. When in Rome. So I wanted to read y'all. So what do y'all think about this story? She's using, obviously, her position of authority to get herself on a come up on the Louis. You know what I'm saying? Buy Jeeps, finance honeymoon, and finance legal fees for a divorce, all in the same time.
That's it's framed perfectly. It's greed. That's all that is. And greed kind of manifests itself, and it continues, especially if you feel like you're doing something not getting caught. So you just start to compound the things on top of it. Like, I pay for this wedding, but we ain't really getting along no more. So let me just throw this divorce on top of there. You know what I'm saying? Let me throw this these student loans on top of there. Let me pay for this out of this. It's just crazy, man. I don't see how people don't ever believe that they're gonna get caught doing this kind of shit.
It's also when you spending somebody else's money,
right?
You don't appreciate it as much, right? You're loose with it. It's just, to me, it's just disappointing, man, because what happens is that those that are on the opponents of black people, okay, will use these kind of stories to say, look here, see, she's black and a Democrat, okay, right? And this is disappointing, man, that an individual, now, of course, there's a presumption of innocence,
of course,
okay, but the fact that you would even be caught up in a situation like this, there has to be a bit of truth in it, that you're improperly using funds and you're in a position of authority, and people are trusting you to be a leader, and a leader should be a person of honesty and trust, not of greed and selfishness.
Agreed.
It's funny to me. I hear this story. I believe it because I'm not gonna say no names, because at my job at one point in time we had a lady that was working in the truck business, or she was on the truck side of it, receiving in the truck. So a lot of the drivers would give her checks straight to her. She would have to go make a copy, whoop, take it to the boss, turn it in. So for a long period of time, bro, she was taking some of the checks up to the boss, taking some of the checks to the boss, hitting the leg. And she always had a good conversation. Oh, yeah, about my baby. Bro, at one point in time, she was buying like 20 pair of Jordans just for all the kids and grandkids.
Oh my
But
gosh.
She was lit.
word, I'm not knowing where she getting this money from. She's stunting on me in my face, but come to find out, she hitting licks on the drivers, the check. So paying for that, and then she paying for her wedding and her getaways and her vacation. So when you tell me that story, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it gets you
Yeah.
every time.
I think maybe they hide a sack in the J's. That's why niggas love Jordan so much. Like maybe like each Jordan, like we don't know on the low. Like Jay got a
Boy, you got something.
you get a
Cocaine.
cocaine in your J's, man.
Call me.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, I want to talk about Chicago, y'all.
Oh man.
All right. Listen, as I've said many times before, my parents are from Chicago. The only reason why I am from California is because my parents had a vision of getting out the hood and moved all the way across country, slept in their car, and did, things that most people wouldn't dare to do, to sacrifice to give myself and my older sister a new life.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why I'm from Cali. And so Chicago has been rough for a long time, but it's getting out of hand now, y'all. I mean, obviously recently on the hip hop side, your boy Duck just got gunned down.
Rest in peace.
And he had 4 kids, I think, young kids under the age of 10. But I want to read some things to y'all, and I just want this to kind of sit with people. All right. And I don't know what's up, Chi-Town, like what's going on, but what I'm about to read is not acceptable. Okay, for any reason. Yeah. But 24 children under 10 years old have been shot in Chicago this year.
Damn.
Okay? Chicago had 105 murders in July. In July. That's more than double the 44 in 2019 July of the same period. Okay? Yeah. 584 shooting victims, also up dramatically from the same period last year. Okay? With 308 last year in July. July was the most violent month reported in 28 years. Okay? July's largest incident happened on the 21st when 15 people were shot outside a funeral home. All right? The youngest victims in July include a baby shot on the 27th while riding in a car on the Bishop Ford Expressway in the far south side. A 3-year-old girl shot and seriously wounded on the South Shore, and a 5-month-old baby shot and wounded in Old Town on the 16th. So far this year, murders have nearly doubled. Okay? Y'all, I don't know what's happening, Chi-Town. All right? What's going on, man? But the recklessness, we're gunning down our people like it's a sport.
Babies.
It's kind of crazy to see, and I've always been kind of tuned into, like, I've always been a big fan of like the Chicago rap scene, and even with some of the the drill rappers, and I've always been interested in those stories and how them things work. But even with the Duck thing that you bring up, if you look at some of the posts afterwards, I mean, one of his enemies put a diss song up about him right after he died.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
away,
Because
yeah.
they keep it perpetuates itself over and over again. I don't understand it enough. Chicago and Compton are different.
Right.
I joke with Raz about which one is worse, but I kind of see it a different way because Chicago's so much bigger. I wouldn't know what to do. So I don't know what's going on out there, man. Like,
I think Chicago is worse, man.
That's what I feel like.
I'm gonna be honest, man. Listen, I don't care what people think what I say about this, man, but there's a sense of the demonic to me. Okay,
they refer to themselves as demons,
bro. It's not it's not cool, bro. It's not. There's nothing cool about it. Okay, and again, like Compton, LA. Let's be 100 keep 100. The violence is bad, but what I've noticed in LA is that the gang violence has decreased over the years.
Right.
Okay? And there's also, even back in the day when there was violence, there was a desire to reconcile. That's why even the word pass came from LA. Like, you get a pass, I'm gonna let you pass. Like, okay, you can, all right, who you here to see? You coming to see your auntie? All right, cool, you get a pass. If I catch you over here again. But it's like, they out here just wilding, bro. Like, shooting little babies in cars, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no reason for our people to be killing each other at the rate that we're killing each other in Chicago, man. And once again, it gives people who don't want to support Black Lives Matter fuel to accuse us of saying, well, why don't you say anything about Chicago?
This
well, guess
is
what?
Primary retort.
We saying something right now about it. You know what I'm saying?
And the black on black crime thing is kind of oversaturated,
Absolutely.
as far as when these discussions come up. But you can't help but look at these numbers and just kind of have to wonder what's the answer to this there. Like, what is it going to take to come to a resolution? Is this just strictly a gang thing, or are we just on, you know, how many bodies you can pile up? Is that what's important now? You know what I mean? Like, what's really the issue? It's gonna take a lot for somebody to get down to the deep rooted issue of it all, because even talking to, you know, somebody from Chicago that was here recently, you know, it's affecting their music scene, their independent creator scene. They can't do things like they normally would do, on top of the COVID, having to deal with worrying about if you're gonna get your head taken off. You know what I mean? Like, they've had to adjust to everything they're doing, and it just sucks that you got to live your life that way.
War zone.
It's self-genocide, man. Right. And, you know, listen, man, the question I have is, what are we doing? What are we living for? Gang affiliations? Set affiliations? For what purpose? For what gain? Have we lost sight of our divine calling? Do we not know that we are kings? Do we not value and honor our own seed? How can we kill without remorse? Destroy without conscience? If we as black people want to progress as a people, we have to also agree on community standards. And thou shalt not kill should be reinstated as one of our community standards.
Real talk.
Yes, sir.